Hey guys, welcome back to the EZ3 podcast. This is a very special episode because we are in a completely different location. We're actually shooting off the Swedish Alps today.
I never thought that it looked like midsummer until you brought it up to me, and now every time I look down, I'm like, this is starting to look kind of suspicious.
Yeah, you literally have a flower gate like at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I mean that big golden temple that's like down the hill over there. I just was like, oh, that's just a barn. I never thought anything about it.
You never looked in there or anything?
No. I mean, there was like a bear suit one time, but I'm like, just old stuff, old people got stuff.
Yeah, they got stuff.
Yeah.
Classic European.
All I'm saying is if someone doesn't murder me by the end of this,
that sandwich Grammy was gonna prepare. It's just pure toxic.
Grammy,
whip that up.
Ninja fixed me up that sandwich.
Speaking of Midsummer, did you guys see the extended?
No, I didn't get a chance to. That was the day I was moving, and at that point I was like, I'm so tired.
So long. It was so long.
So long.
Was it 3 hours or like 3.5?
It was like 3.5.
Jesus
so
Christ.
Long. I was exhausted.
So, did it clear anything up for you, even though you'd already seen it 78 times?
I'm gonna be honest, I preferred the theatrical cut more because it left more up to interpretation. Whereas
more ambiguous.
Yeah, whereas this version kind of like really spelled stuff out for you.
Did it like go into detail on how all the people that died at the end, did it go into detail on how that happened?
There was one that it did clear up. You remember the first shot of the body, and it's like someone in a hay bale.
Wheelbarrow.
Yes.
Yup, that's the one, baby. And they're like wet, and it's not really clear who it is.
Mm-hmm.
There was a scene that was completely cut out of the theatrical version of some kid who like sacrifices himself in the water, dressed as a Christmas tree.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that's who that was.
Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, it just sort of, there's like longer scenes between Danny and Christian, like things that you don't really need to see.
Whining about their relationship.
Yeah. Them fighting, just like drawn out things that you don't really need to see.
So it's just kind of like more details, but it's not anything that you really need to know.
No, like
nothing truly significant.
Yeah.
Like the boy or kid, I don't even know if it was a boy or girl.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever sacrificed himself, that was like the one thing that I was like, oh, because I just figured it was that girl the whole time.
Yeah.
Wasn't. Other than that, it was just so long.
I got you. Yeah, because I mean, I think director's cuts can really type. Like I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot of people say the director's cut of Batman vs Superman makes the movie way better.
Because it makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure there's still stuff that it can never redeem itself on, but I still am like, I just, The red capes are coming. The red capes are coming. I'm like, Jesse, why do you do this shit? Really?
It's okay. He'll redeem himself with Zombieland.
Yes. Zombieland 2, baby.
Come on.
I think that's October 19th?
Something like that.
Yeah. Or October 12th. Well,
October's going to be a good month.
Yeah.
We got Joker. We got Zombieland. Sure, there's something else in there as well.
My birthday?
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Every year that I'm alive is the year of pain.
Moving off that topic.
Moving on from that.
I mean, is it really miserable?
Logan.
Honey.
Even know me.
Wake up.
Smell the roses, darling.
Wake up.
No, but I mean,
Wake up! Wake up! You hear me?
What bit were you doing?
I don't know. I feel like that's something Alex Jones would do. You know what I'm saying?
Turn the freaking frogs, gang.
I liked that.
Anyway.
What bit were you doing?
It's gotten to the point I'm just like, all right, he's just going through it. But at that time, I really didn't know.
I'm doing my own bit.
Yeah,
Is there something wrong with that?
I'm gonna
No.
take his boots off for the audience. Just imagine me slowly pulling.
Ooh, we're getting a free show?
Let me get it.
One of these socks has already been worn. So.
I was gonna say I saw the hole on the bottom of it.
Yo.
That's
sick.
premium content.
Check it out. Yeah.
We got toes in our holes.
Yo, I'm just gonna put toes as the thumbnail for this one.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. That's the.
Will you quit?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was playing football.
Every time you go and you kick my foot. Every time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's getting a little hostile on this set.
We're getting a little heated today on this podcast.
Yeah, because I'm getting hot. All right, guys, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this podcast. You look like a bum with that sock.
Guys, I wish I was more put together for this.
I'm sorry. I don't have any change for you.
This ain't a charity. Please get off the set.
No, but we're talking about it today.
Oh, we're talking about it today.
Yeah, and by it we mean, that. You ruined my whole build
I
up.
ruined the joke. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, you already said it.
All right, read.
All right, guys, and by it we mean It Chapter 2.
Oh, so it's literally.
Yeah, I was building up and then you said it underneath me. We're professionals, guys.
Yeah.
But Mabry, you said you had notes. Let's get started.
I have so much to say. I want to start out by, what do you think of the movie?
I liked it.
Okay.
At first, I liked it better than Chapter 1,
Mhm.
and then as I was thinking about it more, I'm like, it's not as good.
This ain't it.
Well, no, I'm not saying this ain't it. I mean, I definitely think that it is a good movie, but it's got some stuff that hold it back.
Well, I have a question because I could have swore I remembered you in the group chat saying that you loved it.
I did.
Ooh.
I saw it again, though.
Oh.
And then I started thinking about it, and I enjoyed the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny, but
True.
I've got a lot of problems with it.
Yeah. All right. Lay them out. What are your problems?
Oh,
What are your
I
problems?
just want to say that I did also. I enjoyed it.
Right.
I did enjoy it. And
Okay.
I thought it was a nice closing chapter to this.
Yeah. I definitely think it wrapped everything up
Mhm.
pretty well.
reimagining.
Yeah.
Certainly better than the 90s version. I think we can all agree.
See, I saw your story, and
There were things in as a whole, absolutely.
yeah, the 90s version is pretty bad.
But watching it, there were things in it that were more practical than editing that was done in this movie.
You mean all the CGI?
There's a lot of CGI. And
Sweet Lord.
Some of it wasn't great.
But it is 2019.
Uh-huh.
That is the year of our Lord.
There was some big technology out there. And
They did not utilize
the ball.
that.
there were some scenes where I was, especially the first scene, this is when I knew what the movie was going to be like. That very first scene where he pulls Adrian out of the water, which I didn't like. That shot where he's in the river.
Oh, and it...
It's the first time you see Pennywise.
Oh, and you, barely see him, and then it, disappears. Yeah, I thought that was a good...
Cool,
yeah, I thought that was a good shot.
But,
oh, you mean when he's on the bank of the river?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Just opens up, and it's so badly done.
I was in the moment, but I was also like, that's
I loved it the first time I saw it, because I was like, oh, I've been waiting 2 years for this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hell yeah, it's finally here. And then I started to think about it.
Well, I think the first scene is it's a good way of showing the evil of Pennywise.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Even if he looks awful.
I don't think he looked
Didn't look
terrible.
awful,
Yeah,
but it could have been better. That's
yeah,
for sure.
I definitely think the CGI was by far the worst part of the movie.
Absolutely. I wish
Like-
it would have been more just special effects,
Yeah,
props, things like that. Like,
because the first one, I don't remember too much from like those scenes, but I remember there wasn't a whole lot of CGI.
no, it didn't. It didn't.
Not till the end, at least.
Yeah, and then it got kind of, but even so, it still looked
It
good.
still looked real. Like even when like they like threw the arrow through his head, and it's like he's got all the teeth cut. Like that
Yeah,
still looked real.
Oh, you're talking about for this movie?
No, I'm talking about the first one.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
Like that looked good.
Mm-hmm.
It looked believable,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of problems.
Yeah, I definitely think overall it's.
It was enjoyable.
Yeah, I definitely think it works best when it's just them interacting with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I hate to admit it, I think the worst parts are with Pennywise. And I'm not saying that he did a bad job. I'm just saying setting up and doing it.
It was weird. Okay, hang on. So it was weird to me because they would just go and do the same scene twice with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started to notice that too
Like-
when I was watching. I was like,
It didn't change from
I've seen this before
Yeah.
like 5 times already.
Yeah, oh, Eddie's in the pharmacy being attacked by the leopard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's this? It's older Eddie in the pharmacy now being attacked by a leopard.
Yeah.
And then he
5
starts
minutes
choking
later.
him. I was like,
And then
wait, what?
that weird
And
music
then
started
Richie
playing.
is in Richie's in the field with Paul.
Oh, where it starts spewing the black. I was laughing. I was fucking crying during that
That's what I'm
part.
saying. It put humor in really weird
That's what the
spots.
first movie was for me. The first movie, I think it would set up the horror parts masterfully, but then it would just absolutely ruin it because it would throw in comedy. And I'm like, I get here and there, but it would never hold on a scene enough to make you feel really creepy.
Right. I understood it more with the first movie because it's kids and it's supposed to be like playful because they're kids. But I don't know, with adults it felt a lot of times forced.
Mm-hmm.
And just awkward. Like it felt like a very clumsy movie
Yeah.
because you couldn't get scared at anything because it would make you laugh.
Yeah.
I would say this movie didn't do it as much, though. I mean, there were definitely scenes in it, like with the pharmacy scene, but, overall, I think for the most part, when it set up a horror scene, it went through with it.
There was some good creepy scenes.
Yeah,
There's
like
a
I
few
think.
effective moments.
Yeah, I think the funhouse scene where they were going
That
through the
was the
mirrors.
best scene.
I thought that was really
absolutely
cool.
the best
Pretty
scene.
good.
But at the
Mhm.
same time, it was weird because that didn't really do much else for the movie. Like you never hear anything about the kids missing.
Yeah.
And then Bill immediately is just like, I have to go fight this by myself. When the whole movie has been set up that you have to.
Yeah, when it was doing that, and then it's just like, oh, well, we're gonna help you out
And then they
anyways.
just show up at the house.
Yeah, and I'm like
it's
there was no point in being like, oh, I can only do this. I don't want anyone else to die. It's like, dude, you know the ritual. You are all on board with this. Nothing has changed.
Right. And there's something.
So I wanted to ask, have either of you guys read any of the book at all?
I haven't read the book
Yeah.
at all.
You've read? Have you?
I'm
Yeah, I know
reading
you're
the-
reading it right
yeah.
now, right?
Yeah.
But you haven't finished it or anything.
No, but I do know that I know this story.
Because I started, I listened to the audiobook last year, but I didn't finish it because it's like
It's
45
Yeah,
hours long.
it's like a
1,100
Bible.
pages long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got maybe a third of the way through it.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I kind of like the references they threw into the book. Like, I don't know. Do you know about the turtle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They threw a reference to that in there.
Yeah, and the thing I have with that is I feel like these movies should have been so much longer than they are because they completely wiped out that entire idea of the story. and made him appear to be an alien instead.
Yeah.
He crashed on a meteor, and now he's here.
Logan,
so
do you know about
he's
the
an alien.
giant sea turtle?
There's a reference to it in the first movie. I don't remember too much, but I know it's like, isn't the universe on the back of the turtle? Or something like that?
He, like, spit up the universe.
Okay, alright.
Pennywise
and
is
he's
essentially
like the opposite of Pennywise, or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
he's... Pennywise is like a trans-dimensional demon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't kill it.
Right.
Humans can't.
Right.
You're a clown.
We'll get to that later. But I have a lot to say on that.
I have a lot to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for them to introduce that one tiny piece of the story and not follow through with the rest of it just makes it seem weird and like disjointed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's hard to tell this. It's hard to just tell this story in general. I think we've seen that twice now.
And I'm a little bit forgive. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's a lot easier. That's why I feel like the first half is always better.
Yeah.
In both cases.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's a lot easier to tell a kid's story than the adult.
And it's a lot more simple, and it's not so much, oh, we're gonna focus on him being a fucking alien. Apparently, that's at that point, and I know it was in the book, but I'm just like,
it was different in the book to where it didn't seem so black and white.
Yeah.
I'm forgiving of it because I've heard that there's talk of maybe like an origin.
I saw that today. It said it's gonna take place millions of years ago, and it's gonna tell Pennywise's origin. I was like, I don't have any positive or negative thoughts on it. I'm just like,
I don't know.
It should. I'm so
skeptical.
Angry. I feel so like cheated out of this. I feel like it could have been if he had made all of them. If he had done it like a 3-part thing, longer, it could have made more sense. Yeah. I feel like there's something missing out of this.
I feel like they're already so long though. You need like
this one being almost 3 hours
to tell this story. You know what I'm saying?
I know. That's what I'm saying.
But that is kind of, it's like if you're adapting a fucking 1,100 page book, that is a lot to put it.
I don't know. All 2.5 hours.
Let's see the Titanic again. Like, okay, but like there's like little things like.
So let's go through the movie like step by step, kind of like scene by scene. So when it first starts, I don't know. I thought it was a cool kind of like leading into showing him how it was like, it's 2 gay guys going to the fair having a good time, and then the bigoted children come and start like beating the shit out of them, and it shows like, oh, he attacks people that fear him or fear in general.
But in the book, he's more of like he's got like a young soul at heart. It's just not something that you can connect with in the movie because he's just gay.
Yeah.
So Pennywise feeds off of kids, but he's got a kid-like
but he's also
attitude towards him. No, the gay guy. Yeah, Pennywise is homophobic.
Oh.
Pennywise hates gays.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Wait, so in the book, he goes after... It's the same exact scene.
It's the same scene.
Okay, all right.
It makes more sense because in this scene it looks like he's eating an adult, which he doesn't do. He goes after children. Mm-hmm. But in the book, it's described that he's got a very young soul. So he's very
I guess that's true. Just being because I know nothing about the book. I only know very limited.
They're more teenage. I think they describe them as teenagers in that scene in the book. I feel like, but I could be wrong. I don't remember.
I don't know
that well.
Yeah,
but I get what you're saying. I mean, I like the fact that it showed that he goes after adults and kids. I mean, that's a more well-rounded fear, I guess. But
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like that he does go more after children if he does have like that, like more, this is like easy prey kind of target.
You know what? I saw Jeremy John's review.
Yes.
The point he made where he was like, basically any scene where it sets up a kid being eaten is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm there. It just was weird that I don't know. Also, it does not like dive into the home lives of the.
It
the
doesn't.
the
There's
characters.
one scene each for each of them.
And it's like a
it's
minute.
surface
Like,
level.
Yeah.
oh my.
Yeah,
Bill's-
there are entire chapters with these.
There are
people
whole
in the book.
chapters, and
Yeah.
you get like a backstory, and you get to connect with these characters, and like
Especially
Bill's-
Bev, like
especially Bev.
Yeah.
there's a lot
There's
more.
supposed to be so much more, and
Yeah.
like with Bill, it just made his wife like look
Seemed
like a bitch,
yeah.
which is not the case at all. In the
Yeah.
book, she like is very concerned and worried, and ends up going to Derry to find him.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
really?
Yeah, and in this, but she just like.
I actually forgot he had a wife
That-
until like
That's what
him
I'm
and Bev
saying.
started making out, and I'm like, wait, isn't this dude married?
That would have been an interesting dynamic
I
to throw
know.
in there.
Yeah.
And like it was in the original, where she goes into because she got captured
Mm-hmm.
by Pennywise, and she was in like this like
Oh yeah,
Control, like-
yeah.
yeah
And
she
the
was like
end-
gone, and at
And
the end they're
he
like
rides
riding.
a bike and
Yeah, they're
wakes
like
her up.
riding through Derry, and like she comes back too.
That seems ridiculous.
It's wild, but I mean like, there's like a whole other
Yeah.
story there that
There's a
just
lot
is like
going on.
cut out.
Yeah. Which I understand they do kind of have to compress a lot of it, but it's like if you're going to go and adapt a book, I feel like you might as well just not introduce some
That's
characters,
what I'm saying. Like,
because then it's going to be like, oh well, what happened to his wife? He was basically like, oh, you don't support me, I'm gone.
you're a bitch.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Why can't
what?
you be who I want you to be? You clearly talking about the character that she's playing.
Yeah,
Fuck you, Belle. Like,
yeah.
she's not. That's not.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Well, I think definitely the best arcs in the movie are Eddie and Richie.
Yeah.
Well, right, but those are the only characters that you get to like
Yeah, I mean,
see.
Yeah.
Like,
They,
even
they
Beverly,
gave a lot of
I feel
attention
like.
to him.
I feel like they did focus on them more than anybody,
Absolutely.
which you could argue is setting up for the end.
But also, it doesn't do anything for the movie. Him being gay doesn't.
Well, I like that they didn't really like outright say it.
Right.
Yeah.
I found the ending pretty effective, at least with those characters. I mean,
But the thing is, like, this is set in modern day, so like, is there still that much homophobia going on?
In Derry, yeah. Well, remember, it's kind of like, you have the homophobic kids in the beginning that it may not be for everyone.
Derry's just a bad town.
Yeah, dude, let's just
Don't
burn
go
Maine to
there.
the ground. But I don't know. I thought the character arcs, at least in the beginning, helped establish kind of where they went. And again, this is a lot of, I don't know the book, so I don't know how it is in the book.
Right.
But I thought watching it with no bias towards that, I'm like, okay, it kind of makes sense where they ended up. Compared to like, oh, they're just coming back just 'cause, and they're the same exact people.
Ben's start was pretty weak too. It's just like, yeah,
Oh,
I'm a businessman and I'm also hot now.
Yeah, I'm like, his whole character development is that he lost weight. That's basically it.
No, the guy that you first see when it shows that scene and he's talking and you think that's the older Ben.
Yeah.
He played Kid Ben in the original series.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That was the
That's a
coolest thing
little
about the scene.
Easter egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, he's older and he's hot.
I mean, I like that Mike got more because Mike in the first one, I mean, he was there, but like,
Yeah,
he
I
did
can't
not do
think of a
much.
single thing he did besides
Yeah.
introduce the cattle prod.
But even though he still didn't, they didn't really develop his character that
No.
much. He's just
No.
the guy that stayed
He's just
in Derry.
yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm just crazy
Which
now.
there's a lot more
Didn't he become like a drug addict because it ruined his life?
in the book.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Something
He
like that.
he like
But there's definitely a lot more with him in the book.
right.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Ooh, lay it on us, lay it on us.
the newspaper scene.
The newspaper.
Two crackheads died of.
Oh yeah.
Pennywise is fucked up, bro.
Pennywise fucking with them. My favorite scenes in the movie. I thought those were hilarious.
Because Bill is so good.
Yeah.
He is so good, and you do not get enough. Instead of introducing...
Oh, James McAvoy?
No,
Bill Skarsgård.
Oh,
Plays
okay.
Penny.
Yeah, okay, alright.
Introducing these weird, like, side spooks. I wish it would have just been more of Pennywise.
Yeah.
Because, like, and every scene that they would show in, like, the trailers that you think would be, it, like, looked amazing in the trailers, you watch in the movie and it'd be ruined with the CGI.
Yeah.
Like, the scene where Beverly's back at her old house.
Yes, I was going to bring that up.
In the trailer,
I was about to say, that's a good scene, but they showed the
because I thought it was just gonna be her running, and it was like set up, and it's like, oh, this is creepy, and then it's like, oh, she turns into a CGI monster from Scooby Doo.
Doesn't it look so bad?
Yeah, it did. Like, I was like, can you guys?
There are prosthetics.
Yeah.
There are prosthetics.
Or even just do a little bit of makeup, make her look demented or whatever. But yeah, I think
they started off with prosthetics with her chest and stuff.
Yeah,
and it like held true to the original one, because that was the same. That's what happened.
So I have a question though on how it's set up for her to go and say like, oh, my father came here with $14 in his pocket.
My father joined the circus.
My father joined the circus. What did he do, Mrs. Kirk?
He was a clown.
My father came here with $14 in his pocket.
I love that scene. I love that scene so much.
When the trailer came out, I was always
That's playing
making
in
fun
my
of
head
that,
all day
yeah.
now.
My father.
Go ahead, Logan. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, all right.
Okay, I'm sorry. Before I'm interrupting you once
God
more.
damn it.
I was just gonna say, I think we're gonna need a chapter 2 to this fucking review.
Oh no, we might add. I've got some stuff I want to hit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what's your time constraint? When do you have to?
We got about 30 good more minutes.
Oh, we're set. We're fucking.
Oh man,
Yeah,
there's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So.
Wait.
Oh, fuck you, Logan. Times 3.
Sorry.
I'm just waiting for it. Okay, all right, so we're good.
Oh, there's no Calos.
Yeah.
Oh.
Damn.
Wait, I can go get it.
No.
Yeah.
Joker. All right, so the scene where she's talking about that, and it sets up like, oh, her dad is Pennywise. Did they ever go into that in the book?
No. What that? No, that's not.
That's just a spook.
Yeah,
so,
that's just Pennywise fucking with her.
Yeah, like when she goes to the door and then she's back at his house. Also,
because I thought that's what. Okay, but yeah, that makes more sense now.
Okay.
But it's like during the scene, I'm like, so is her dad Pennywise, and he like, is it like a Freddy Krueger thing where he's like tied to this town or something? Okay, all right, so
like,
never mind.
even that scene where Bill is literally just in prosthetics.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can see the scars start to forming.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Like, Bill is so terrifying in himself.
I thought it was kind of funny every time he came back, and it was more and more pain, but he never showed it. And it's just like, yeah, Beverly, are you daddy's girl? And just like started for it. I don't know. I thought before that it was hilarious, just turning back each time.
I love him so much.
I know. He's so good.
And like you watch interviews with him, and he's so quiet and just gentle, and I think he's so good. He's so good.
God bless.
No, I know. Okay, so they had to hire voice actors for some of the kids.
Yeah.
So if you notice, the kids' faces are not their own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know Eddie.
I heard about that beforehand, and I kind of noticed. I don't think it's as bad as some people think it is. But
I noticed it right off the bat. I said, like, something's off with their faces.
Richie's is bad because Finn Wolfhard is like
he's
6'11".
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all their faces pretty much changed. I think Beverly's did not, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think Beverly's looked the best. Yeah.
Everyone else, I believe, had their face scanned, and then I know at least Eddie's, they used a voice actor for him because he's 15 playing it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a little off, but I mean,
There's nothing they can do about that.
Unless they were to shoot
it's
it
not-
back to back.
Well,
Yeah.
I was about to say, and it's not like they took their time. It was only 2 years, But
Yeah.
as
I
kids
know.
grow up.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a very specific time for
Yeah.
them to do that, and they.
Yeah. The scenes that I loved the most were with the kids, obviously, because we had a connection with the kids.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like there was not enough with the adults.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't find myself connecting enough with them as adults.
I didn't for most of them. Like fucking Ben, I was like, I was like, his personality is now he's hot. That's
I
it.
could not care less.
But I don't think we've given him proper praise yet. But Bill Hader.
Yes,
Oh
Bill
my
Hader definitely
God.
best
is
in the movie.
Most definitely
Oh
the
my
man.
god.
Yeah, Bill Hader brought the movie.
That like the scenes that I was like really invested in were any of them with Pennywise,
Mm-hmm.
Bill Hader, and then any of them with Jack Grazer, the young Eddie.
Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
All those scenes I was hooked on, but other than
Yeah.
that, I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Jessica Chastain and James McAvoy.
Woo! Jessica
Well,
Chastain.
James,
Mm.
both of them.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
James McAvoy. He's the man.
Yeller. Derailing.
Oh yeah, how does it feel? How does it feel? No, I'm just
All
kidding.
right, you got me back on that one.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say they are both incredible actors, but they didn't.
You didn't get
do that
anything.
much
You
in this
didn't
movie.
Get
Yeah,
the writing
yeah.
in this movie
Like
was
James
so bad.
Like, have you guys seen Split?
That's what I'm saying.
Have you guys seen Glass? He's so good.
I didn't see Glass, but I did see
You've
Split.
seen Split.
Yeah.
What, like
And
8
you've
different
seen
people? I mean,
Everything else he's been
Yeah.
in. He's so good.
he's so good, and the writing did them no justice. It did
Yeah.
none of them any justice.
Jessica Chastain was just boring in this movie.
Boring?
She did not do anything.
Like, oh my god, The Help? Zero Dark 30? She's so good.
Come on, and I'm just, oh my god. I think that the casting, as far as them looking alike, was
Yeah, they especially Stanley's character. I mean, looks
Oh my
just
God.
like
Oh,
he
yeah.
grew up.
Like,
I
even though
mean,
he was
Is
in
that
the
his
movie for the
dad?
whole-
What
Yeah.
the hell? Yeah, that's... Yeah, and Stan...
There
Well,
was so much-
We'll talk.
yeah, I was
get
gonna
to
say
that.
because
We'll
that's
get
like
to
at the
that.
end. Which, all right.
Yeah,
So
we'll get to
if
that.
we're going like bit by bit, so we talked about them showing up as themselves or like older and kind of like introducing
I do
them.
wanna say, I really liked how it was not explained well in this movie. Eddie's wife was the same actress as his mother, because in the book,
Oh, was it?
yeah, it was the same. Because in the book, he marries a woman exactly like his mother.
Yeah.
And it wasn't explained, but that was really funny.
Oh my god, that's incredible.
I figured that it was like her, but I didn't know it was the same
It was the same
actress.
woman.
Oh, that's a
They
great...
just put a wig on.
Oh,
They put a
that's
different wig
fucking
on.
hilarious,
Great
actually.
bit.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying, and you didn't get to enjoy it because it was terribly.
They showed like 3 scenes of her, and that was just her on the other phone, on the other line, and like it quickly cut back to him
That's what I'm
driving.
saying.
Then he got into the car accident.
Yeah, that's it. And then they made that one joke that Bill Hader did about like you married a woman, like 3 times your mass or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
It's the only joke you get, and it was such a good bit.
I love when Bill Hader's talking. He's like, yeah, sometimes he would go up to me, ooh, my chocolate, ooh, we want that. I was dying. I was like, god damn.
The Bill Hader, oh my god,
Yeah,
the
Bill-
delivery on his line, that one where he hits Henry Bowers in the head with the axe, which why the
Oh,
fuck
yeah,
did we-
Bowers.
Oh,
That was-
we'll
that
get
was
to
a
that.
great-
We'll get to
Yeah.
Waste of a storyline.
waste of story. Thank you.
Mhm.
When he delivers that line, well, that was long overdue. Get it? Because it's elaborate.
It's
You-
so good.
Oh my god.
I know this is later on, but the physical timing on when
Oh
I
my
think you know at the
God.
very end where he's like,
He's caught the deadlights.
yeah, he's like, get ready, oh, I was dying. I was like, holy
And
shit.
even with that effect, it felt very. I really liked that scene. I love that scene.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the effect on it felt extremely Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Like a different movie
Yeah.
in that scene, which,
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel
what
that.
can you do? But I loved the scene. It just felt very. Again, the effects in this movie are very
Bad.
Like wishy-washy.
Yeah,
Bad?
yeah, very wishy-washy. I agree.
Is that the scientific term?
It
I
is.
don't know. What were you saying?
Brooks, I think you were going on about something.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of the scenes, like, when they were going to each and every one, and it's like, oh, go get a piece of your past? Like, what do you think of those scenes?
So I mean, I guess that was maybe supposed to be like the whole. It felt like the whole second act. To me.
Yeah.
And like we said earlier, it just felt like they were kind of repeating the same
It's the same
stuff over.
What I think they were kind of wanting to do, because it's kind of like, oh, look, we're referencing our own movie. We're referencing the old movie. You know, look at how much we're referencing this. And it's kind of like...
It felt weird because he was playing off of their fears as children.
Mm-hmm.
And then for them to have to face the same fears
Yeah, I was
as
about
an
to say
adult,
they would have different.
They would have different. They're adults,
Yeah.
and they've forgotten all. Like, I don't know.
I don't know how I feel about they forgot everything. When they explained it, I was like, that still doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, that's how it was in the. That's why Mike Stanley remembers anything, because he stayed there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't know. Just when they were like, "Oh, we forgot everything,"
Maybe
I was like,
something.
Oh, the phone calls that he made. It's Mike. Mike who? Mike Hanlon.
Mike Hanlon from Derry.
Every
you have to come back.
Single call.
He did do the same exact thing.
It's Mike Hanlon from Derry. You have to come back. Like,
Bev, it's Mike.
That could have been it.
Mike who? Mike Hanlon from Derry. You have to come back. And they all, pretty much every single one of them was like, oh yeah. They didn't say it, but you can see it in their face like, oh yeah, well I'm going back.
Yeah, there was nothing.
I get the oath thing. I mean, but like.
Or seeing James McAvoy look at his hand when the scar comes back. You never see this. You see I think Beverly's scar.
Yeah, and it disappears at the end, and I don't even remember them ever.
No one else's.
Yeah, they never said anything about it. I was like, I completely forgot about that scene.
Loved it.
I don't know. I think some of them were cool. Like, I think Eddie's was really cool. I mean,
I like seeing Bev, beat the shit out of her abusive husband before she leaves. But it's also like a minute of time that we've had.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
do they focus more on like their abusive relationship in the book?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a whole.
They go to like this whole party and like it's
something that he's been doing.
Yeah.
They own a company together.
Oh.
It's a lot, and this is just. He's a drunk. You don't see that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say literally it's just like, oh yeah, I beat her and I'm rich.
On me.
Yeah.
Which was not the problem. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just you feel like the introduction to the characters needed to be so much longer than it was.
Now, like hearing how much it's different from the book, it's like, wow, they really skimped out on the good, like important details.
Yeah. Yeah, and now it's like if they do an origin, are they gonna try to circle back around and introduce?
I don't think they should. I don't think they should.
What, introduce the kids?
No. If they're doing an origin of Pennywise, are they gonna
show before the kids come? Like
no,
almost...
like introduce like the turtle aspect.
Oh.
Are they gonna do? Or are they just gonna stick with he?
Yeah,
is an alien.
I have no idea what this movie would be.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be some
sci-fi
epic?
I saw an interview with Andy, the director.
Muschietti.
And he was saying he was thinking of doing a supercut of the movie, which is both movies together.
Yeah.
But then also adding scenes that have not been filmed yet.
Ooh, okay, so it'd be like almost 7 hours long.
It
would be at least 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I think
it was like 2:15,
and then this one's like 2:49.
Yeah.
Wow, we said that at the same time.
Dude, hell yeah.
So maybe that will clear something up. I just feel like the movie ended, and now I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
they
All right.
they bullied
They
him
did
to
it.
death.
Well, we gotta talk about more stuff.
Yeah.
I know.
We were at the beginning. We're at the beginning. We need to.
All right. So we talked about the first scene where they introduce everyone. We got to where they were going and getting their pieces.
We need to talk about the Chinese restaurant scene.
That was
Jesus
I love
Christ.
that scene.
Jesus Christ.
I thought it was.
I also liked it. Oh.
Oh.
You hated it?
I liked the characters. I liked the
spook at the end I didn't like.
the talking.
See, I did it.
This is my problem. They did that scene in the original. Practical. They used props.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me you couldn't get like something in that bowl of fortune cookies to like shake it around? You had to make them CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't use props.
in the
movie, in the older movie, it looked better.
Mm-hmm.
It looked so much better.
Yeah.
It was the same stuff. It was like the dead bird in the eyes and stuff, but like it looked real.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in this movie, I was watching, I was like,
when the bat wings started popping out, I'm like, all right,
I clocked out. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that was the moment I was like, oh boy, please let it just be this one
just
part.
And just let me. But other than that, I liked the like the dialogue that was going on. I liked the fortune cookies spelling out the Stan thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was
funny,
cool.
But like the CGI just ruined it for
and
me.
talking about we can talk about the Stanley scene at the beginning, but I don't know. I felt like it could have more bite to it.
It didn't explain that they couldn't have kids.
It felt kind of tame, to be honest.
He didn't write it on the wall, right?
No, he didn't. He literally just
they just
died,
kind of bleeding out. But
yeah,
they didn't even show him doing anything.
Yeah, it just turned back and it was brutal in there. Yeah. But that entire time I'm like, he's literally just sitting there like, oh, I wrote the note and now I bleed
Yeah,
into
like,
The man
have more of an impact.
He had 45 seconds of screen time.
He was a good character in the first one.
Yeah.
I'm just. Oh my.
Oh, go ahead.
No, because it's in the end of the movie.
Yeah,
All right.
That could be the whole next episode by itself. To be honest, the ending.
Where are we at?
So we got to them going after each piece, which I don't know. I thought some of them were good. Some were kind of like Mike's was literally just like, oh, here's that. And that's it. I'm like, Mike didn't even get a fucking... Though he's been around, so I guess it makes sense. But it's still like, y'all really dogging on Mike right now. He got nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I hated Henry Bowers.
Yeah.
Oh, are we getting to that now?
He's got...
Don't bring him back if it...
He's got, 3 or 4 scenes in the whole movie.
That
they cut to
lead up to nothing.
Every, 30 minutes. And, yeah, it leads up to absolutely nothing.
The Hochstetter thing, I about lost my mind.
The what?
His friend, his dad driving the car.
You mean that fucking Kylo Ren looking ass?
Oh, that's what I was talking about when I posted that thing on Snapchat. In the original, he's just in makeup. He's just in they could have just done. I laughed when that balloon popped and I saw who it was. I laughed.
I was not expecting him of all people to be there. I was like, oh. And it pops and then he just crawls out and I was like, all right.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
and then he's driving the car.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
Why wasn't he talking to Pennywise in the institution?
Just a balloon.
Like in the original. I mean, it's kind of cheesy, but he's in the moon or whatever. But still, they could have done something cool with that.
Something, and you get nothing. Yeah. It's Henry Bowers is alive, which they could have included in the first movie instead of flashing back for 2 scenes.
Yeah.
That kid really had to show up on set to film one scene.
He fell 50 feet down this well and
He's fine.
alive.
He's
Yeah.
Because I guess Pennywise
liked him.
wants
He liked
him.
this one kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So didn't need that scene. Could have kept it in like at the end of the first movie or something like that. Didn't need to be there. He just didn't need to be there. I think he was there for comedic relief, honestly.
I think the scenes where Pennywise goes after the kids,
Mhm.
though they were cool, they weren't necessary, like, at all. Like the one with the girl on the scar on her face, and she, like, goes in, and he's like, oh, people always make fun of me, and she's like, oh, I'll be your
I
friend.
enjoy those just because.
I like that.
Just-
Yeah,
no,
I
just
like
because
them.
If they didn't have these scenes, you would have no idea that he's still going after kids. Because suddenly he's returned,
For them.
but like
Yeah,
you know
I
what I
guess,
mean?
yeah.
They only coming back because he came back. So
Yeah, okay,
They have
alright.
2 scenes of kids dying. Where are all the deaths?
Mm-hmm.
I
There's supposed
want
to be
more
hundreds.
blood,
There's-
damn it.
I want more kids dead.
I want to see these bodies.
I want to see this body count.
I want to see the kill count,
Yeah,
goddamn.
that's
Yes, James A. Janice, where are you at?
He
Yeah,
kills 2 people.
yeah.
I'm sorry, 3.
Including, oh,
Oh,
wait.
rip to my mans.
I thought, wait. Which one's Richie and which one's Eddie?
Richie is Bill
Yeah,
Hader.
Richie's
Okay,
Bill Hader.
alright. I kept on getting names confused, but okay.
Please keep doing
So when I said earlier that I liked the scenes, I liked Richie's compared to Eddie's.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because Richie was Paul Bunyan going him acts everywhere. I thought that was pretty funny,
Did
but I
we
thought it
need
was
that?
cool.
Could
Yeah,
it not
it's
have
like-
just been Pennywise? Going,
Yeah,
What?
I like
It was
this.
so bad. The CGI is so bad. I can't
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, but yeah, I think it would have been cool.
I like the adult Richie Pennywise thing though.
I
'cause-
love that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
The scenes that Bill Skarsgård is in are so good.
Yeah,
And if he had just put more Bill Skarsgård in instead of worrying about these terrible CGI,
yeah,
I'm so passionate. I'm so angry.
It's okay. We're letting it all out.
Yeah,
This is a
yeah.
therapy
I've been holding
session.
this in for a while.
you're like, when's the next podcast? I need to get this.
Here we go.
Oh, go ahead.
Some good things. Let me
Yeah,
say
let's-
something
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Let's get on the positive
The
train.
kids are funny. The kids are very funny.
Yeah.
And I enjoy watching them.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie's character, loved it.
Mhm.
Him and his older counterpart, James
Ransom.
Dramsone.
something like that.
Something like that.
They did great.
Mm-hmm.
They look alike. I think he did a great job of interpreting the young Eddie's character.
Yeah.
But their line delivery,
Hey, there's
Was
a line
also-
delivery.
amazing. Both times where they're just like walking into something and screaming, and then immediately cuts back to them focusing on whatever they're
Oh
doing.
yeah.
I lost it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
He's so
Yeah.
good.
I loved it every time. That kid is funny.
He reminds me of Fred Savage of this generation.
All right.
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't know if I've
The
ever
Wonder
seen a
Years.
Fred Savage movie besides
Well, there's the Wonder Years, Little Monsters.
Princess Bride. That's what he's in.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Princess Bride. There's like one other big one I'm missing right now. Was he in one of the Ninja Turtle movies?
Couldn't tell
That's
you.
the wrong one.
He's in the third one. No one remembers.
This is
Um,
a Savage cast.
Yo,
Oh.
Savcast. Every podcast we change it.
No. Yeah, I thought he was great. I don't really understand. Again, the same scene. You're seeing the same scene.
Yeah.
Twice instead of. It's fine though.
I mean, so we could, because a lot of it is just kind of going through and getting their items, and then, Henry comes, does
Rude.
nothing,
Here he comes,
man.
does nothing.
and
He
then,
stabs Eddie in the cheek. Eddie stabs him in the chest.
That was a weird scene to me.
I
yeah.
guess he goes up.
And then they're all just kind of sitting out there, and then he's just gone.
It was a funny scene. I didn't understand it. You should cut that fucking moment.
That part, I was dying. I was laughing so
That was
hard.
So
good,
good.
yeah.
It was so good.
I saw an article where it was like, It Chapter 2 is a horrible horror movie, but it's a pretty decent comedy one. I was like, that's so true.
It was really funny.
Yeah.
I laughed a lot more than I should have.
I was trying to remember. There was one scene that did legitimately creep me out. It was kind of near the middle endish. I can't remember what was.
What was before it?
Ben's. He was in school. Beverly's hair got fired. CGI looked terrible.
Oh yeah, I thought that was more funny than anything. I was like,
so
is it because she's a redhead?
I leaned
I was
over.
like, that's so
I
dumb.
leaned over to Miguel. I was like, dude, I didn't know fucking Ghost Riders.
She didn't even chase him that far. She literally like walked him out of the classroom and that was it.
Yeah.
And then the scene where he does like go into the locker and you just see the face behind him. It's from the poster. I was like, but that's actually kind of creepy.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a huge locker.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
huge.
Yeah.
What?
Pennywise, what you doing in there? How you fit in there?
Christ, how did he fit in there?
And then he just shows up. I was like, all right, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, there was.
Damn, I can't remember what scene
Is it
I was
Bill's?
trying to think of.
No,
Bill didn't really
What was
have
Bill?
one.
he didn't really have one. He had the sewer thing.
Yeah,
But
which
like,
all he did was talk to him. You
all
didn't
he
even
did was-
see
all he did was
Pennywise.
harass a kid. This poor kid.
Yeah.
Getting harassed by all these adults, like.
The scene where Bill Hader's like, fuck you, kid, fuck you.
Why
He's
would you
like,
say that?
oh no, it's just from one of your specials. I was dying.
Yeah. Oh, well, that poor kid, you know.
Yeah, I
May he
mean,
rest in peace.
yeah, I was gonna say he
Got
didn't
his head
die.
Chomped off.
Yeah, that scene was so good.
Yeah,
That
was.
scene-
where he's just fucking knocking it.
He hit his head, and then James McAvoy's slamming the other thing, and his kid's caught in the middle. That scene
That was
that
the
was-
only time where I felt like
I felt
McAvoy got
like,
to
actually
do
act.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt genuinely stressed in
Yeah.
that moment. Bill Skarsgård is so good. I cannot.
Yeah.
He
God
needs to
bless
be
him.
in more things.
He needs more characters
Yeah.
that he can do things like that with.
Um,
And that's why I'm so like pissed off with this movie. Is he was so good.
Yeah.
He was so good as Pennywise.
Wait, guys.
What we got?
Got an idea.
Okay.
Pennywise
Yeah.
versus
Okay.
Uh huh.
Terrifier.
Wait a minute, how would that work?
Bro, they're both supernatural clowns.
Terrifier? Wait, is he a.
Do you not remember the end of the movie?
For which one?
Terrifier.
I thought he just.
Art the Clown.
I don't remember him going and being supernatural.
He dies at the end, but then he's at the morgue, and he kills
and he
the
gets
guy
back.
in the morgue.
Fucking
The lights
same
go
thing
off
happened to every other person.
Alright, hear
Like,
me out.
Michael Myers done that like 80
That's what I'm
times.
saying, but
And that was before the curse.
But he's a clown, so it makes sense, okay?
Hear me out.
Synergy.
But he doesn't fear
Pennywise.
him.
Versus Godzilla.
He turns into the spider
form.
Whoa, guys.
Oh, I wanted to say, I guess we're still not at the end, but we need to wrap this up soon. I hated in the original. I used to be scared of the original as a kid because I was a kid and Tim Curry was terrifying.
Same here.
But,
Just Tim Curry himself.
It's just
But I hated the ending because it was like they're fighting a spider.
It
What?
was edited like a crab.
Yeah.
That's what I watched.
Yeah.
It looked like a crab.
But I mean, because in the book they describe it like they can't describe what they're seeing.
Right.
So it's like
Then you kind of have to
think of what it could be.
Right.
But they kind of went back to the spider. But at least they had Pennywise like
actually
on
looked
top of
like
them.
a
Yeah, and wasn't just like, oh, now he's an actual spider
Right.
crab thing.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to get to where they go into the actual house because I think that's where most of the climax takes place, and it's kind of like a good chunk. When the little when the head of Stanley came out and he starts spewing out.
No, you know what? That's
legs.
the scene I was talking about. I kind of found that scene creepy.
Wait, where it's the legs spewing out or everything in that scene? Because I thought the legs like coming out of like his eye, like right here, his eye sockets.
was uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah,
Because
but after that, I was dying. It was so
I
stupid.
hate bug-like things.
I hate
Yeah.
the
That,
crawling sound, like the.
yeah. So that messed with me a little bit. And if Stanley had more character development, it would have meant a little bit.
It would
Yeah.
have meant something, and also he was entirely CGI.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah.
you're telling
That
me you
part I
haven't
was-
seen one movie where it's just a floating head and it looks
Oh yeah.
the
Way
actual
better.
person.
They could
Yeah.
have Evil Deaded.
Yeah.
Evil
That's what
Dead
I'm saying.
did.
They did it at the end. They could have.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but that scene had me crying, laughing. He was like, "Oh, get it!" Going. I thought they were gonna pull out a broom and start to trying to hit it. I'm like, "Oh God."
Kidding me? Like, Bill Hader. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, we may have to do a chapter 2 to this.
I
We're
think
gonna
we're
have
gonna have
to.
to talk about exclusively the ending
Yeah.
for an hour.
Yeah.
Because there is a
maybe some
lot to unravel
positives.
there.
I have
Yeah.
some positives, but
Yeah.
right now
We'll get there.
We mainly Bill Skarsgård and Bill Hader. Those are the
Yeah.
positives.
All the
Yeah.
Bills.
Yeah.
Besides the character of Bill,
Well,
because he could have been better. But
yeah. Okay. All right, guys. We gotta get wrapping this up.
Next time, maybe we'll talk about Mabry going to Halloween Horror Nights.
we're gonna what?
Wait, you already went?
Yeah.
Yeah, she went on the first night.
Yeah, I got a pass, guys.
Whew.
You get that frequent fear?
Come on.
All right.
The plus, you already know what it
Oh,
is.
I'm on
Ooh,
it. I'm on
no
it. All right.
free parking, bro. That's worth it
No,
alone.
not free parking.
No, I thought you
I
got
thought it
free
was.
parking.
No.
They got to make their money
I
somehow.
go after 10 to
Ooh.
get free parking. That's when I go.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
After
if you can get through the lines fast, then it's not too
You
bad.
can put in Spore and fly.
In the
Pass
lines.
the You don't have to pay.
I thought you were talking about is Universal going through the lines. I'm like, wait, what?
I mean.
Stay tuned, guys.